Hey, everybody. Me, Irina, and Stars About Stars, we are greeting you, the first astrology based matchmaking podcast for love and career seekers. And today we have a very special guest, a great guy who keeps my belief in a young generation and man in total on the planet, Lucas Pastor. Hey, Lucas.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm so happy to have you finally here in this studio.
Yeah, it's about time.
You know why you're so important besides being my guest today to me and actually to Stars About Stars? Because you were the number one person who knocked the door of my project. Yes, you did it.
Yeah.
When I announced it, you told me, I'm looking for love. I'm that guy.
Well, yeah, it's a tough area to meet somebody,
Yeah, especially here in Boca Raton.
Yeah, it's, surprisingly, it's not easy.
Why do you think nowadays you're young, beautiful, motivated, focused, everything is great with you? What is the main reason for you why it's difficult to find love?
I think people watch too much TV and they see, like when I was younger growing up, everybody, watched the Kardashians, Jersey Shore. They saw these lives that weren't real, and then these girls growing up, they had these expectations of a fairy tale life, and not that a girl or woman shouldn't have that, but there's that expression, take someone to dinner first, so I guess it's just a lot of girls kind of expect, to have it all,
Nobody
1, 2,
wants
3.
to grow together.
Yeah,
nowadays.
Nobody wants to grow together anymore, and it's kind of a shame, because that's kind of like, the way I was raised. That's like the beauty of having a partner, is to grow, learn the strengths of another, have somebody motivate you and vice versa. But
inspiration, motivation, all together.
Nobody wants that anymore, unfortunately.
I do believe that your girl will find you through Stars About Stars, especially because you're a great guy, and I know that.
Thank you.
So, and we have a little journey of 12 zodiac questions that are connected to stars and astrology. If you heard a little bit of that science.
My best friend, sister, she loves astrology.
Oh, great.
She always, she took me recently. We went to like this meditation thing. And in the end, you pick a tarot card and stuff like that. And
that's cool.
Yeah.
I love men who believe in spiritual world. That's important, believe me.
Yeah.
Okay, and we start. So with this New Yorker, the main number of births corresponds to the card justice. Do you believe in justice at all?
Justice in what way? There's tons of different...
That's a question.
Yeah.
Injustice on the planet. Because sometimes you meet great people, but they're suffering for some reason. What's the reason then?
That they're suffering? It could be a lot of different reasons. It could have been, the way they were raised, or something they went through that, they just can't let go of. Or, something that just traumatized them, and hurt them pretty badly.
So you do believe that we all come from childhood and our traumas, and we bring it to the real life?
Yeah, I mean, look, things happen, whether it's mom and dad, teacher, relationship, whatever it is. And some people carry that with them their entire lives, whether it was something small or big that happened. It obviously affected somebody in some way that, they're upset.
If you meet a nice girl who is not following all these social media images, but her heart is a little bit closed, would you build up the way to set up relationship with her if you see that she's traumatized, but you can return belief in man in relationship to her in her life?
Yeah, I mean, if there's something that, if there's somebody in my life that I care about and they went through something, if there's anything that I could do to help somebody overcome something, 100%.
So you would fight for a woman?
Of course. Of course.
And I know that you're very attached and very respectful to your sister.
I love my sister very much.
If somebody offends your sister or any other girl you love and adore, what would you do? How would you defend? How you would fight for justice in this case?
It depends what it is. If, let's say, somebody was disrespectful at let's say we're out and, some guy, starts being weird and she, tells me I'm uncomfortable, then, then I'll get involved, or I'll help her out of it. Or, if she, whatever it is, if it's somebody close to me that I care about, I'll help them with whatever.
Do you like to give advices? And do you think it's a wise thing to give them at all?
To give advice, I give my sister advice all the time.
You do.
Anytime she's unsure of something, if it's something I can help her with, great. If not, then I tell her who to talk to or how to get that advice.
Thank you. The month of birth personifies the qualities of a magician who can control his voice and lead people after him. Do you have any special skills connected with the voice or power of word?
Well,
music,
podcasting, it could be, sales, it could be really anything, giving advice. I mean, I give advice all day long, on, jewelry. And, sometimes a customer wants to get a gift. They don't know what they want to get. And a lot of the times, actually, they don't know their budget or what they're looking for. And then I kind of got to, show them and, tell them why a specific piece may be special.
Tell us more about your current profession.
Yeah, so I'm in the jewelry business. I sell, high-end diamond jewelry, luxury watches. We do have some art in the store, but mostly I do, watches, diamond jewelry.
How have you been involved in that type of profession?
Well, I got involved in 2018. I started doing it on the side. And then when COVID hit, I didn't know what I was going to do anymore. I didn't like school. School wasn't for me. So, I tried other things, but I finally, a friend said to me when COVID hit, she's like, well, you love jewelry, you love watches. Why don't you go sell watches? Great idea. So I started a small business called The Watch Broker. And I started, going all over the place, clubs, bars, restaurants, and like wristwatching. And then I would, try to sell a watch, and I mean, I made it this far, so I guess I did something right.
What's your favorite accessorize for a man and for a woman?
For a man, I think a good watch. My uncle said, every man needs a good timepiece, and I don't think he's wrong. A watch is a great accessory. It doesn't have to be anything really crazy expensive. It could be something cheap, but I think a watch is always something good. For a lady, I think, a lady could wear a lot of different accessories. Earrings, it could be a necklace, a pendant, it could be a ring, it could be even a watch, it could be anything, really.
And do you have your favorite stone by chance?
My favorite stone, I think, is going to be a diamond.
Because you're an expert.
Yeah.
And because this is the most precious stone. It was considered to be the stone of clairvoyance many years ago. It was given to various before the war to predict the future, how it's going to go.
That is very true.
So your year of birth corresponds to the image of priestess. Who do you like to take care of besides your sister, of course?
How do I take care of other people or?
Yes. Who are your people important for you? Or maybe pets?
Yeah.
Maybe plants?
Yeah. Well, I have a family pet. I don't really have a, personal pet. But I do love my dog. It's an English bulldog. But my other friends, I don't have a huge circle. I like to keep a small circle of friends. I think it's a lot easier. A lot of the times, friends get into arguments and all that kind of stuff. It limits a lot of drama. But, I take care of my friends just as if they were, family.
Tell me, please, if you meet the right girl and you bring it to your group of people, what time, what leisure would you prefer to spend together? How would you go out for concerts?
Yeah.
I don't know, go to bars or whatever.
Yeah, I do love bars, clubs, stuff like that. But, I do love, just going to a nice restaurant, hanging out, sitting down, or going to even a friend's house. I like more, having my friends together than, when you go to a club, there's nothing really of substance at a club. You go there, half your friends are walking one way, half are walking the other way, and everyone's gone. If I want my friends to get to know somebody, then I'm going to probably keep it more in an enclosed environment, a restaurant, have everybody
You're a person
over.
of conversation.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. Sun conjunction moon. It happens that with this position, the parents probably, or maybe they were strict or distant, or one of the parents. Tell me more about your education, about your values that came from your childhood, and what are you actually going to bring to the world in your future being a parent?
Well, that's a very tough question. So my dad, my mom, my dad, they got divorced when I was young. So, I had my mom, but I also had my grandpa, my mom's dad, my uncle, and, my other grandparents on my dad's side. Everybody was always there for me. My uncle, he's like my best friend. I was just on the phone with him before
Your
I walked
hero.
in. Yeah, I love to go visit my uncle.
For me, it was the same. I loved my uncle so much, believe me.
Yeah. And my grandpa used to spend every weekend with him. That was like the thing to do when I was younger. And then, you get older, grandparents pass away and stuff. But yeah, no, I love my family. I love spending time with them.
Great. And your uncle gives you very good advice.
He gives me the best advice.
Thank you so much for sharing. Sorry that astrology works even in that bad aspects, but yeah, I appreciate your honesty.
No, of course.
Mars in Leo, this position gives a bright personality, strong will, creativity, focus on purpose. A person has a very natural talent for leadership, and he inspires the trust of other people. How do you build up trust with the girls?
With the girls, I think it's being honest. When you first meet somebody, you're not trying to really dump your whole life story because, you don't want to scare somebody away. You want to kind of build the trust where it's, the conversation gets a little bit deeper maybe each time. And then I would think it would allow both people to kind of open up a little bit more. Every conversation is always different. It's never, the same topic.
And if you met the girl and at the first date, she was shy to tell you something, maybe about her family, maybe about where she works or her education, and she tried to look good in your eyes. And after you fell in love and you find out this dishonesty, would you forgive? Would you understand her in this case?
It really depends. I met, there were, some girls in my life where they were very dishonest and really didn't do right. And I'm all for giving somebody the benefit of the doubt, second chance. I think everyone deserves that. But, it depends on the situation because it might have to be a second chance with somebody else. Because, when you're on an airplane, they always tell you, put your mask on first before you can put your mask on somebody else. If I every time go to put, a mask on everybody else and I'm not wearing a mask, well, I guess I'm in trouble on the airplane. So, you got to take care of yourself first. If the dishonesty was too much or it was too big of a lie or something really bad like cheating, you got to let them go. You have to, because it's not fair. Otherwise, you're going to get wrapped in a cycle of forgiving that person or even damaging yourself. And then, you're going to go after the wrong person the next time. So if you don't stop it the first time, it's just going to keep going, whether it's with that person or somebody else.
We spoke about spiritual values and we spoke a little bit about your material vision as well. Tell me, if you build up a family, what is the best woman for you to grow together? That I understood absolutely corresponds to your age. That's a great decision to do. The only one thing, like, would you prefer a woman who going to divide with you 50-50, or you would like to grow together and after to become master or man of the house and to be a provider?
Sure. I think that's every man's goal in the back of their head. I've never had one guy friend that was, wanted to be that person.
You can travel to Holland. They do that all the time.
Oh, really?
No matter which age. No, don't take me wrong. I love this country.
Yeah.
Grass is green, coasts are perfect, right? Everything is very well organized, but they love
down the street.
Yeah, but they can be 50, 60 years old and pay bills 50-50.
Sure. I think there's nothing wrong with paying bills 50-50. Some people have a problem with it. I mean, ideally, of course, I want to be the main provider. However, you know what? If, somebody's finances, I mean, it's not like it's a pet, when there's kids involved, both parents do what they have to do, whether one goes to work. If God bless the wife doesn't have to go to work or the girlfriend doesn't have to go to work, great, no problem with it. But, if somebody needs to pick up the slack and the husband's doing everything in his power to try or to actually try or, to do everything for the kids, or maybe has done in the past, maybe the husband may go through a bad time. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what's part of a partnership and a relationship is to be there for one another because, if, one or the other can't step up for one another, then, what were you building the whole time?
Lucas, you talked about kids, and it's very important for me, being a woman, that you're so direct and you tell me, it's part of life, because people now try to skip that responsibility or that type of dream. And in previous generation, that was very normal, that man and woman, they dreamt about having kids one day. Do you have any idea of age when you want to have your kids?
Probably. Well, I just turned 28. So, I mean, if I had to date somebody, get to know her, and if it all worked out and we were married and had kids, probably like early 30s, maybe mid 30s latest. I mean, I kind of want, to have kids. I'm not trying to have kids by the time I'm 40 or 50 and,
So you're old style.
Yeah, I mean, I am, but I have my times when I'm not, old fashioned. But, I think it was those, traits that kind of were like the foundation for, relationships, those old school things.
You're in jewelry business. Do you want your woman to be, for example, jewelry expert, or you deal with art as well? Do you want her to be artistic, or you prefer somebody who's going to be career maker, financial mind, and so on?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think probably, whatever she loves doing. It doesn't have to be somebody
that's a
really.
Great answer.
Yeah, if she doesn't have to, she could, whatever. If that's what makes her happy, God bless. I mean, the jewelry business, I know it's a tough business, and if she loves it, no problem. Whatever she wants to do, whatever makes her happy.
About God, you have a very special family name, Pastor.
Yeah.
Tell me, please, how it happened. It's such a brilliant name.
Yeah, well, that I'm not sure of. I don't know where so on my dad's side, last name's Pastor. On my mom's side, different last name. The maiden name is Krasner, and my family on my mom's side came from Belarus. I think they came.
Wow, we are neighbors.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But you don't know Ukrainian or Russian.
I know like very few phrases. Like hi, goodbye. That kind of stuff. Please, thank you.
Yeah.
But like I can't speak a full sentence. I could nod my head and pretend, but that's like about it.
Anyway, good to have something in common extra.
Yeah.
Great. Stars point out some aspects that probably you could be a little bit jealous.
Oh.
Does it relate?
There's definitely times, look, everybody gets jealous, whether it's a relationship or whatever it is. Somebody always gets jealous. I mean, if, I was in a room with, let's say, a girlfriend and like, her friends, and her ex walks in and all her friends start talking about the ex and, oh my God, here's so-and-so, instead of just like fluffing it off. I think when you can be polite to somebody, but I wouldn't be like,
It's more about disrespect than being jealous directly.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to be disrespectful to anybody. That's not nice. But
no, you're right.
Yeah, like, friendly is okay, but not like, I wouldn't want my girlfriend running up to her ex, alone privately running, I don't know where she is. No. But.
We spoke a little bit before, but it was private conversation. Do you believe that you can come back to your ex and it's going to work out successfully?
I think, it's definitely possible. Anything's possible. People change, times change, experiences change people. But, it depends what the reason was for a breakup, It really depends.
Yeah, thank you so much. I do think so too. I had one video post about that. That was cool. Mars square Pluto. This aspect gives a bright nature, a desire to achieve one's goals at any cost, and somebody maybe difficulties with being diplomatic. But you speak so good. I really appreciate your honesty and being direct. Tell me, please, as well, this is an indication of courage, by the way. So... was it any accident in your life when you got in trouble because you were too much direct, being a New Yorker with your brave nature?
I think, probably in school. If like a teacher told me, made fun of something or,
you've
said
been a
something
naughty
I didn't
kid.
like. Yeah. Yeah. I at the time, when I was in like high school, I like to have fun and make a little bit of trouble.
Girls
not too much
love
trouble.
That type of guys. Come on.
Sometimes.
Okay, your North Node, that is your karma task for all your life, is in Scorpio. Actually, it's all about forgiveness. To learn how to forgive people who offended you most of all. Do you forgive easily at all?
I can forgive, but I don't forget. And, it's kind of tough to, if, it was something that is forgivable, sure. I've forgiven tons of people, who've done the wrong thing. But if you come to me and you own up to your mistake and say, Lucas, like, I really, I care about our friendship or the relationship, whatever it is, and I'm really sorry. Yeah, I probably could forgive somebody, but it really goes back to what it was.
Yeah.
And, how much of a friendship I already had established with somebody. There's been so many times I could have told the best friend, and kicked him to the curb. But, at the end of the day, after I really processed and analyzed the situation, it might not have been, that bad, or it was something that maybe over time I could forgive. And, I've forgiven some people.
Yeah. Thank you. You have a lot of indications about financial success and achieving your dreams. Tell me, please, and actually working in a big corporation as well. What is your dream job? My
dream job is actually doing what I'm doing right now.
Really? You want to stay in jewelry business?
I love jewelry so much.
Do you want to create it or you want to sell it?
That's tough. I mean, you can always design something. You don't necessarily, there's so many different options in jewelry. You could be a bench worker. You could be, wholesaler, retailer, so many different things. And, I think being on the, retail side, selling, it gives me the opportunity to meet new people, share an experience with somebody. It could be, a newlywed, you're helping them pick out their ring, or, somebody's going through maybe a bad time. They want to sell something and, you're trying to help them out, or doing designs too. I mean, tons of times, you could draw up a piece of jewelry, have it, sent to be made. However, that piece that you drew, that was your, design and idea. So you have, a role in, the process of how it was made. It's not like you put out an order.
If you give me permission to share, I always wanted to design zodiac jewelry. That was my dream. And actually one of pieces is here on me. I ordered this stone that is aquamarine from Madagascar.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's all about communication. Now we talk. That's how it helps me out to set up my, communication with my clients and with my guests here in studio. And I was waiting for this stone for a long time because I really believe in the power of each mineral. And Elena Littorel, I really want to admit, she's a great Ukrainian designer. She's based now, I think, in Austria. And she recreated my dream, because I knew what I want, but I didn't know how to make it technically. So she did it for me. And that's a great business. And you're into art as well. Tell me, do you like to attend exhibitions or Art Basel that is happening in Miami every year? Would you bring your girl over there?
Yeah, Art Basel is definitely a fun event. It's not just the art. There's performers. There's, tons of stuff to do. Great pop-up restaurants, tons of stuff. And a lot of famous people go, so it's fun. I have some friends that, they go with their group. I get invited, but, art galleries. If I'm invited to an event, I'll always go. I won't be rude to not go. But I mostly like, if it's like, let's say Rolex or like a Cartier or like something inspired art piece. Yeah, that would, get my attention pretty quick, probably. I like things that, art pieces that, I could maybe relate to, or something like, oh, okay. There's an artist, I forgot his name, but I've seen him on Instagram and I always see when he posts, and he always posts like a lot of like, Rolex inspired art. Yep. So he'll do like a big canvas of like a GMT, and then like he'll have like maybe, there's actually a Rolex called the Batman, and it's got the colors blue and black on it. So people nicknamed it the Batman, but he'll do a big pop art piece of maybe like a bezel and like, the bat signal in the background, something really cool. Or like, there's a Rolex called the Hulk. So he'll do something like that. Definitely if it's a piece that, can combine, other interests, then I'd be interested.
Tell us where to go. Where's your shop?
In Meisner Park at ECJ Lux.
Great. So we're going to visit you soon.
Anytime, you're always welcome.
And a couple more questions about astrology. 21 years old, I can see some change or transformation, maybe not even in your life, but life of somebody you love, excuse me. Does it relate? Is it true?
I don't really know, to be honest.
You don't remember what happened by that time?
When I was 21, lots happened since I was 21.
Did you start drinking, by the way?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think everybody drank like before that, high school stuff.
I was impressed. Yesterday, I met 3 young kids. They're FU students, and they had some special story. We don't drink at all. I said, wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm impressed too.
You motivate me a lot. I do Lent. I don't drink too, but it's just 40 days. It's not whole life.
Yeah.
Okay, and now about 28, 29. Now you started the most important period because it's full turn of this planet, and it starts from 28 to 32. Any exact plan for this period of time?
Any exit plan?
Exact like plan, precise plan for this period of time. And you mentioned about 30. You don't mind?
Yeah. I mean, I would like to, be married, soon. I'm not trying to be single forever.
Oh my God, girls! Now actually we can stop. That was enough. That's what every woman wants to hear. I want to be married soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Lucas, you're an ideal man.
I'm only getting older. I mean, I'm not getting younger. So
thank you so much. That was amazing. I started with that point that I admire you because you're so honest, so direct, so serious about that. It's not a joke for you. You're really looking for love. You're open to that.
Yeah.
And you don't mind, to get married officially, to have kids in the future, to build up everything together. What could be better than that?
I think at some point in everybody's life, they have a point where they, maybe don't express it to everybody, but in the back of their head, they kind of know what they want. Everybody has an idea of their, future. Okay, when I want something done by, But yeah, I think everybody does. And if they don't, they just don't want to share, but they do.
Tell me now, please, where we can find you except your shop, because this is for business reasons, for those girls who already liked you.
Sure. They can follow me on Instagram, LucasPastor_.
Facebook, any other?
I'm not really on Facebook.
So you're Instagram guy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we have a couple of final questions.
Okay.
What is love for you?
Love for me is, a partnership with somebody else that I could share good and bad times with, have a great life with and build a future and, whatever is in store with that.
Thank you so much. And now closing rule for us is to pass the torch for the other guests in this studio to be a special person who Stars About Stars project. Who is that?
I'm going to say probably my best friend, Alexa.
Alexa?
Yeah.
She's a girl?
Yeah, she is.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for Alexa. I do believe she's so amazing as you are.
She'll come.
Okay,
I'll
thank
talk
you
to her.
so
I'll
much.
tell her how amazing the show was.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Lucas. That was great. Thank you. And me, Irina, very happy with each guest and Stars About Stars. Please follow us. Please listen to us in Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Subscribe, YouTube. Always Stars About Stars, the same name. Our website, www.starsabouttstars.com. By the way, we have a sprint promotion starting from today that ends 30th of April. You can get your coupon promo code for 10% discount for any type of product or service that you find on my website. And as well, follow us, please, in TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook and Twitter. Stars About Stars. And me, Irina, with love.